Good evening, everybody. This is official Bristol Township Council meeting for March 17th, 2022. Starting time 7:01. We need a call to order. Yeah, roll call.
President.
Oh, what do we got? Call to order. Oh, what am I doing here?
Called it to order. Now we want to.
You know, I could listen.
First time?
No. That's a muscle relaxers.
Yeah. You swore.
Now, just so everybody knows, I try every meeting not to screw up, and usually I do somewhere in a meeting, but not in the beginning. So,
Got it out of the way.
all right. So, seriously, no, because I'll tell you what was on my mind is Randy Flagger. We got some flowers. We received some flowers. And it was on my mind. That's really what was happening. And the sunflowers represents the Ukraine. And we wanted to do something tonight because I try not to watch TV, but the little bit I have seen is just devastating for the people of Ukraine. So Randy Flagger was good enough to get the sunflower, and it represents the sunflower in the villages and countryside of Ukraine. It's the national symbol, and throughout the history, the flower has been used as a symbol of peace. So that's why it was on my mind. And so in the meantime, we're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. We want to remember our police officers, our emergency responders who take care of us every day, or people who are, like my son is another thing on my mind, I'll tell you later, overseas protecting us and also here in the country. So please remember them in your prayers, plus the people of all the residents of Ukraine that are getting hammered. Thank you. I will also say I'm a little out of sorts. My son's over in Japan. He works on helicopters. He's in the Navy. And he goes out on the destroyers to fix the helicopters. And his term is up next year, and he just emailed me that he's staying for another 4 years. So with everything going on, I lose a little bit of present time here. Thank you. Moving along, monthly reports are available for review in the township manager's.
Now it's time for roll call.
Roll call.
President Bowen.
I think I'm here.
Vice President Murphy.
Present.
Ms. Dunlap.
Present.
Mr. Antonello.
Here.
Mr. Blaylock.
Here.
Mr. Glassen.
Here.
Mrs. Wagner.
Present.
Thank you. Monthly reports are available for review in the township manager's office. Public comments will be taken on land development and official action items. General comments will be taken during opportunity for residents to address council. Next, we have presentations on the agenda, and we have a combination to Larson Hunt of Bristol for achieving.
President, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Oh,
Prior,
yes.
I'm sorry to interrupt our Eagle Scouts, a lot more important than what I have to say.
Yes. But prior to the meeting, we
Prior
met
to
in
the meeting
executive
tonight,
session.
we met in an executive session, at which time we discussed litigation matters, labor matters, and personnel matters. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Flagger. Next, we have presentations. Combination to Larson Hunt of Bristol for achieving Eagle Scout recognition.
Very good.
Larson, come on up to the podium. Mom and Dad, you're welcome to, too. You'll see a green button there. You can push that down. We're going to read
We'll have a commendation,
we have a commendation for you.
and then you can tell us all about what you've done.
Yep. So we'll read that first.
So, a resolution of commendation of the Township Council of Bristol, Bucks County, honoring Larson Hunt for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. That's spelled wrong. Whereas Larson Hunt, a senior at Harry S. Truman High School from Bristol, has been a scout with Troop 316 in Levittown until his 18th birthday this past July. And whereas Larson has held several positions within the troop, including chaplain aide, troop historian, scribe, assistant patrol leader, assistant senior patrol leader, and most recently, troop guide. And whereas Larson Hunt recently achieved the rank of Eagle Scout. And whereas for Larson's Eagle Scout service project, Larson undertook an environmental reclamation effort along a section of Silver Lake Trail in Silver Lake Park to provide a safer, more pleasant hiking experience. And whereas Larson managed a team of 35 volunteers consisting of fellow scouts, troop alumni, friends, and family who broke up and removed large chunks and slabs of concrete, cleaned up trash, and a dump site containing everything from broken glass to couches to car parts and 35 tires. Whereas Larson and his team also repaired a walkway at the trailhead. Larson and his team invested 272 hours of planning and labor time on the project. And now, therefore, be it resolved, the Township Council of Bristol Township hereby recognizes Larson Hunt on his dedication of his many Boy Scout leadership positions and extraordinary accomplishment in achieving the highest award in Boy Scouts. Duly resolved the 17th day of March. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's picture time. Let's get, Larson, come on down. Mom and Dad, you come too.
Come on down.
Pat, how you doing? Spin around. Mom and Dad, get on each side, then we'll pony up. Dad, come on in, Dad. Come on this side. Get that final picture. All right, now I feel really short.
We have representation from Silver Lake Nature Center as well. Yeah.
Congratulations. Much success in your future. Dad, Mom, congratulations to both of you.
Now, don't feel obligated to stay. What you can.
Hey, you want to get, can we? Okay, cool. We're going to get some pictures with Silver Lake.
We're going to be moving, we'll move on the agenda here.
Or is there somebody from Silver Lake who wanted to talk?
Is there some, Silver Lake want to talk, or? Nope. Okay. Okay.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Thank you.
All right, we like that.
Just so everybody knows at home, you can't always see in the back, but we're honored tonight to have our Public Works here. These are the people that keep this township moving along, and it's really, really nice to see them come to a council meeting. Moving along, we got the consent agenda. Consider approval of voucher list and requisition dated March 17th, 2022, in an amount of $2,887,169.25. And then we need to consider approval of February 17th, 2022 council meeting minutes. We need a motion on that.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Cindy Murphy,
I'll second it.
second by Joe Glassen. On the motion, is there any questions? Call to board.
All in favor?
How about this? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you. I'll be quiet out there, Gerard.
Gerard.
Report from Township Manager.
Thank you, President Bowen,
you're welcome.
Township Council. As you said, we are very honored to have our Public Works Department here today. We're also honored to have our Public Works Department leader, Charlie Durnley, if you can come up to the podium.
Thanks, Charlie.
So we would not be here today if it wasn't for Charlie standing at the podium. Charlie's been here less than a year, and he has changed the morale and the leadership and the makeup of the department in less than a year's time. And the crew has always been outstanding, but under Charlie's guide and leadership, the quality and workmanship and the happiness of the crew has been above and beyond 180 turnaround that I could have ever expected. He came in, he looked, he made a overall, judgment evaluation under, coming from a smaller department into a bigger department, evaluation of seasonal employees to hiring full-time employees, then the luck of the draw, no pun intended, on St. Patty's Day. We have, a 500-year storm. And so, Charlie's been running around nonstop ever since he's been here, and has been an immeasurable, in value employee to not only to the Public Works Department, but to myself, to the township residents. And I know I have been, not quiet about that to Township Council. Based on that, and based on the crew and two very special men in the department coming to Charlie, feeling comfortable enough to coming to Charlie, and talking, having a real conversation about how, how we're never going to get people to come in when we've talked about needing more employees, and how the rates of pay are about between 30 and 40% less than the surrounding municipalities, feeling comfortable enough to come to their leader and say, is there any way that we can look at, talking about this? Charlie then came to myself. The four of us sat down, had a very respectable conversation about it, and we're here respectfully requesting from council tonight. I 100% support it. I know Charlie 100% supports it, to ask for a 1-year increase for 2022 rates for the TWU Local 282 roads and public property wage increases to increase their salaries to across the board $4 an hour increase. Their contracts are up next year. There'll be major conversations about that, whether it's a contract and association agreement. We're having a very good, open, and honest discussions. Things are very. I've never seen a department. They're. I'm very happy because they're very happy, and I just like to express my gratitude, and I would like to also make a motion or make a recommendation that council puts forth the motion.
I'll certainly make that motion.
$4 increase.
So we have a motion on the table, first by Sidney Murphy, second by Miriam Wagner. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thank you.
If Charlie could just say a couple of words.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Randy. Charlie, make sure that light's green. And
Thank you, Randy.
you might have to lean down because you're so tall. Or
I'd just like to read this letter of appreciation on behalf of Public Works, if you don't mind. First off, it's good to see everybody. Bristol Township is truly lucky to have the seven of you, and of course, Randy Elton, our township manager. It's clear to everyone the love you each have for Bristol. You take your position seriously and base all your decisions for what's best for the township. It's amazing what can be accomplished with a township manager and a council who not only genuinely listens to, but act on resident and employee issues and concerns. The countless hours and dedication bestowed are a testament to Randy and your devotion to this township. The decision to open the TWUA contract and implement the changes just discussed will not only benefit the members and their families, but the residents of Bristol Township as well. Our Public Works crew's versatile skill set is what sets us apart from other public works departments and saves the township hundreds of thousands of dollars a year by not having to hire contractors for every project. From our mechanic who routinely goes above and beyond fabricating metal to fix and maintain the township's many facilities, to fabricating parts for our skilled laborers and operators out in the field accomplishing complex projects. And of course, Lisa in the office, who has more institutional public knowledge than anyone under the sun. We are lucky to have them all. On behalf of Public Works, thank you for recognizing our hard work and dedication to serving the residents of Bristol Township. The actions taking place here tonight will allow Public Works to continue to thrive and attract skilled laborers and operators as our department grows. So, thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Charlie, before you go, Charlie, you know, we get somebody complain about, you know, this is not done, or the road's not plowed, and I go, well, we have almost 180 miles of roads, and perspective is from here to Harrisburg and halfway back. But I think you have a new perspective. Was that you that said, oh, no, we go down to Cape May and back?
If you put together the actual lane miles, not just road miles, but lane miles, because,
Right.
you know, it may take 3 or 4 passes, I think it was 2.5 trips to like Ocean City or, you know, Wildwood and back.
And back.
And
That's a
back,
perspective.
right.
I'll have to use that one.
And half of it's, you're going backwards.
And how many personnel is there in Public Works?
We have 15 currently.
So there's 15 people. And again, what's that roads from Ocean City back and then back down, if they're
I
plowing?
think it's about 80 some miles, so, you know, it was 270 road mile, yeah.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming.
I have a plow for my road. I think it's 500 feet long, and the cart weighs 28 feet. In the last snowstorm, it was an hour and a half to plow it. I went home. So, yeah, I was done. So, for the crew at that snowstorm, which was the last one was very difficult, and you put that in perspective with 15 guys, that's like, that's amazing that you even do that.
It is. They deserve this, and
Yes,
you know,
and that's why they deserve it, you know, and thank you. It's been at 2012 when we came in office, a few of us here. It was a tough going. We had a deficit. We had 180 miles of roads just about needed to be paved, street lights. It was a disaster. And the Public Works, we really couldn't give raises, right, you know, and then when they did come to contract, it was a small percentage of raises. This is a really justified and a just thing that needed to be done. So I'm glad, and thank you guys for hanging in there all these years and just, you know, hanging in there.
And we
really
appreciate you.
appreciate it for everything you do. Thank you.
thank you for recognizing
Thanks,
that.
guys.
And you guys, you're all welcome to hang out. It's probably going to be about another 10 minutes, or you can, you know, I know you want to get up and go to work in the morning, so it's up to you guys. Thank you again for everything. Yeah. Thanks. All right, we're moving. Anything else, Randy?
It's the day after St. Patty's Day. It's a
Okay, we
sick
have a
day.
report from Township Solicitor, Mr. Flagger.
Mr. President, Council, good evening. Happy St. Patty's Day. We were forced because of time constraints to enter our appearance to defend the Bristol Township Zoning Hearing Board, whose decision on the JNL Real Properties LLC matter, the hotel, were challenged. We need the township tonight, if she desire, to affirm our action and ask us to defend the Zoning Hearing Board's action in that matter. Motion is in order.
Yeah, I'd like to make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Patrick Antonello, second by Sidney Murphy. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Mr. Flagger.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Next, we have new business, 2022-2023 road material bid. Take action.
Yes, thank you. The bids were received from New Britain Township on behalf of the Bucks County Consortium, and Charlie and Lisa in Public Works reviewed, and recommendation to award Eureka Stone Quarry as the lowest bidder. The term of the contract is from April 2022 to March 31st, 2023.
We need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Cindy Murphy, second by Mary Ann Wagner. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Next, 2022 road program bid.
We have a presentation. We put out the 2022 road program bid. There was 4 public bids on Penn bid. The road list is up on the screen. Magnolia Drive, Gooseneck Road, Gaping Rock, Cable Hill, Greystone, Orchard Lane, Linden Avenue, Harris, Grant, and Elford Place. There was 4 bids received. JDM was the lowest bid received, with all the alternates at $644,485.04. Just the history from 2012 to 2021, the township has paid 543 roads, 137 miles of roads. We're looking to do 11 more at 3.17 miles. By the end of this year, we'll have paved 554 roads, totaling 139.19 miles.
Wow.
Motion is in order.
We need a bid, we need a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Mary Ann Wagner, second by Marcia Dunlap. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Architectural and MEP Engineering Services proposal for Township Fire Station.
Thank you again. We had received a sketch proposal, which KCBA had completed for us. Now we have a proposal for them to complete the architectural, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing drawings at a proposal price of $309,500 for the fire station. Motion is in order.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Patrick Antonella.
second it.
Second by Joe Glasson. On the motion, is there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Next, Bucks County Technical High School 25% permit fee waiver request.
Yes, that's what they're asking for.
What's that?
That's what they're asking for.
We have a motion by Mary Ann Wagner. I'll second it. Second by Joe Glasson on a motion for waiver fee. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Phew. Bristol Township Consent Decree, Second Amendment.
So this is the last thing on the agenda. This is no different than the consent decree agenda item that we had approved before, but this is before we had the environmental issues come up from the wastewater treatment plant expansion. So this is just pushing the dates back for the expansion to be completed. Everything else in the amendment stays the same. So that's why the EPA and DEP and the governments had not signed the original since we got to them before when we found that the environmental issues came on the rise. So this is, for them, this is their first time signing the Second Amendment. This will be our revised Second Amendment, but consider their first Second Amendment.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Patrick Antonella,
I'll second it, Craig.
second by Joe Glasson. On a motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Next, we have other business. Any other business? Anything else? Comments from council members?
Go ahead, sorry, go ahead.
Do you want to share the donations we're accepting for? Oh,
That's
Sorry.
exactly what I was gonna.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the township as an entity will accept anybody's donations, anything that you want or would like to donate for the relief to the victims and refugees from the Russian war of aggression in Ukraine. We'll work with Falls Township. I think we're going to move our donations over to Falls, and they have an access point to relief agencies that will be shipping any of your donations directly overseas and put it in the refugee service organizations where they'll do the most good.
We actually have a list on the website and on the, on our social media.
Perfect.
What you're asking for specifically.
Exactly. I know I have a trunk full of diapers and baby formula myself to donate, so, you know, we certainly, the list is expansive. They need, if you can think of it, it's needed right now. So we appreciate all the citizens of Bristol Township doing what they can in this great time of need. Thank you.
Thank you. Just to be clarity, when people bring the donations down, in the police side,
Yeah, please.
police records, all right? So thank you.
So our wonderful Public Works Department is going to be making, they're there now? Okay. So if you go, thank you, guys. If you go in the police records, you'll be able to walk through, and there's a large donation bin. It's the colors of Ukraine, and you'll just be able to drop your donations in the bin.
Thank you. Next, we have opportunity for residents to address council, and we have Denise and Mark Schwab, 1940 Ritter Avenue.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm only a little nervous, so bear with me.
Oh, that's okay. Trust me, I've been doing this for a while, and I still get nervous.
My son and I are here because we were given code violations in the mail. Yes. Is that better? Short, sorry. So we have some code violations at our house. Back in July, we had a tree fall on our house during the tornadoes and the flooding that came through the township. Not only did it take out our house, it took out our 2 cars that were in the driveway. We're still living in a hotel. Mark here has been living in his trailer in the driveway. He has electric and he has water, both hooked up through temporary electric that was put up as a restoration. I have another son that's living with me at the hotel, and we have 3 animals. So we have not been able to find anywhere in close proximity to this area to live in. There was so much devastation in this area that the hotels, the houses, everything has been booked, and there's been nowhere for us to stay but a hotel. 3 adults living in a hotel with 2 beds and a very small kitchen has been very trying. The boys are exact opposites. We have one that stays up and sleeps during the day, and then we have this one that goes to bed early and leaves at 5 a.m. for work. So January 18th, and by the way, not only did the house get ruined with this tree, both of our cars in the driveway were also totaled at the time. So January 18th, we got a certified letter of violations. We had a box truck on our front lawn because we were emptying the contents of our house into this box truck. The house had no electric, it had no water, the house was freezing cold, so we were doing it in increments. I understand that the box truck was an eyesore on the lawn. We also got a violation for him living in the trailer. And we got another violation for no permits pulled on the house. The no permits pulled on the house is because I have not been able to find a contractor to come within my parameters of what I have been given with the insurance company. Contractors that don't return phone calls or give estimates, and contractors that can't do it because we're just saturated in this area. So it's been almost 9 months that I've been out of my house, and I'm on my 27th contractor. So I had a court date on March 9th for the violations, and I spoke with the judge, and he told me that he cannot override any of the violations, that I'd have to come to the council, plead my case, and ask to make an exception to have Mark continue living in his trailer. We have 2 more months until the insurance kicks us out of the hotel to get back into our house because my ALEs run out. I'm asking if my son Mark can continue to live in the trailer He's got electric, he's got water. The trailer's registered, the trailer's insured. We are at our wit's end. And just with the violations, I corrected everything. Mark is now staying with a friend on his couch. Mark is also staying in the trailer because we have a few drug addicts in our neighborhood, and I'm afraid they're going to break into our house. I had the police out at my house 2 weeks ago because I came to the house to check on it, and there was a window and a screen opened in one of my bedrooms. So we're not sure if somebody's getting into it, but when they see my son's truck in the driveway, they know somebody's there and they stay away. So I'm just asking if you can grant some kind of exception so that he can stay in the trailer. The judge said that he can't do it, but I could come to council and you guys could make that decision.
I'm sorry, the judge was not correct in his statement. The council has no authority to make that type of, so which court
That
were you
was
at?
Judge Wagner.
Okay,
And
unfortunately.
he told me to go
no.
to the council and
Well,
plead our case.
That's not, this,
We can't override ordinances like that.
Correct.
It would have to be advertised and change the whole ordinance for something like, for that. You can't just do that tonight, get something. So,
What's your address?
1940 Ritter. I live in Fergusonville.
Okay.
is the house destroyed?
It's about $80,000 worth of damage. It's unlivable right now.
Was it water damage?
It was, the tree
The
fell
tree?
on it, yeah.
Okay.
During the hurricane, during the tornadoes that came
Right.
through at the end of July. And I did go to the FEMA meetings. I was with Red Cross, I was with United Way.
All right, so after the meeting, we have a 5-minute, we're going to have a discussion with attorneys and then tomorrow and try and
Ritter Ave.
figure out what we can do to help you out.
1940 Ritter Ave.
Yeah. Yeah. No, yeah,
Okay, you can,
no.
No, it's not something we can vote on.
But you have our attention, and we'll,
and it would only be until May 31st because that's when the insurance says that we have to be back in the house and my ALEs run out.
okay,
Thank you.
all right, thank you. Next is Fred Hems. 4711 Fayette.
Yep, that's
Drive.
me.
How you doing, Fred?
Okay, for the moment. Yeah, I got a house on Fayette Drive, and it's paid for. I lived there 20 years. And a new neighbor moved in on Bath Road in November, and then strange things started happening, like laser beams flying around at night, hitting windows and all. And then in December, I got hit twice in the eyes with laser beams while I was laying in bed sleeping. Of course, I jumped up and my vision was cloudy for 5 minutes and called the police and all that stuff, and it's been going on since then. I get attacked every day, and they're also doing electronic harassment. Whoever it is in that house, they're messing up my radio, TV. They hacked my phone. All my electronics are bad. So since January, I only go over the house during the daytime. I have to sleep somewhere else. So I have a house that I can't even live in. And I called the police 6 times. They don't know what to do about it because it's like it's an invisible crime.
Yeah.
They shoot the lasers and then you don't see them, And they're telling me in December, they said, oh, you're seeing Christmas lights. They're not Christmas lights.
Wow. You know,
So,
Fred,
I've asked everybody for help, and I have no other place to go.
okay, well, we'll,
And
the
and
manager
actually,
or-
it's much serious than what I'm telling you now.
what's that, Fred?
It's much serious than what I'm telling you now. There's a whole lot more.
Nope. Let
But
her
the
pull up.
lasers and the electronic stuff is what's keeping me out of my house.
Wow.
I can't go there and lay down. They'll hit me. Somehow they get them things through a crack in the window through the blinds or something. And there's 3 houses, both sides of me and the front. They formed a gang.
We'll have township manager pull the files with the police and we'll see, what's going on and trying to get a handle on it.
Okay, I mean, I tried everybody. I called the FCC and all that stuff, the DPA.
Okay. Well, that's,
I mean, it's a
That's a-
crime what they're doing, that electronic stuff, jamming up your radio.
Yeah,
I called the police and they cut me off 4 times.
I, 65 years old.
66?
And there's always something new, but wow,
Yeah.
this one's out of my pay scale.
Are you saying it's more than one neighbor?
It's 3 of them. It's a gang.
Really?
The one house they moved in, and then the people across the street and on the other side, they somehow got together. I never see them together, but they all started attacking together.
Okay,
We'll check into it.
yeah.
And then one time, I like to walk around the neighborhood with a radio, and one day I went outside to walk around in the afternoon, and there was a car at each corner. And all of a sudden, they all put on their bright lights, all 4 corners, and they all start laughing at me. And it was them people, the across the street, the ones on the side, and the other ones. So I don't know what I did. I lived there 20 years. I never bothered anybody. So I don't know why they turned on me like that.
We'll have
I
it-
can't live there.
We'll have the
I can-
township manager, she'll get with the police department, we'll pull the reports and see if we can get
Yeah.
some clarity on the
Well,
situation.
I think it's a gang that formed, and somehow they got to be stopped.
Okay, Fred. All right,
Okay,
Fred.
so,
All right.
well, could I
Sorry you
hear
live in
something
like that.
maybe?
Sorry you live in that condition.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, come on up.
My name is Lois
Hold
Adams.
up.
I live at,
You got it?
my name is Lois Adams. I live at 1200 Spencer Drive, in Croydon Acres.
Okay,
Spencer, the street that had the pontoon boats coming down to rescue people out of their homes from the storm. Beautiful tree-lined street, and that's kind of where the problem started. When they planted the trees, and I have pictures, they planted one right over my sewer line. The township. A civic association. I didn't know who planted.
right, it was a
but,
civic.
in
Croydon
Croydon
Acres Civic.
Acres. The tree got planted directly over my sewer line. When I first moved in 15 years ago, I replaced the sewer line. I've got pictures, and you can see the cleanouts and see the line. And I've been living with it and dealing with it, paying plumbers to cut roots for the past couple of years. Only it's gotten worse since this new, we had what was called Mr. Rehab come through. I think they somehow closed off my line because I can't use the water at all in my house. It comes up. I can't shower at my home. I have to shower at the gym now. I have to, if I need to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I have to wake up and go down to the Wawa.
Start,
The-
exactly.
It's
Date.
date. I mean, I had him out, the plumber out right before they came. And he said that we had talked about with removing the tree and everything, only it's also, if I can show you a picture of the property, it's also right next to a power pole. And he said. that-
telephone pole?
So, no, the power.
No, what was the date? What was
Yeah,
the
well,
date?
yeah,
You
we're
had-
going to
you
go
had asked a
back to
question.
that. The date is the critical thing.
Since January.
Well, when you say ever since Mr. Rehab came,
I started getting backups, and for about the past 2 weeks now, I can't even flush the toilet. I can't take a shower there. The little mosquito- No, the tree is, can I show you a picture real quick?
No, that's,
No.
but you're not,
Got where the tree and the power line and the sewer, the tree that got planted is
well, wait a minute.
touch the tree to the power line. And the plumber said that he needs the city's involvement.
no, that is not the case. He can talk to the Pico. Or he can or get a tree removal service. I mean, it
is
is
there
not,
any
it
way
is
I
not a
can get
township, it
help?
is not a township tree. The previous homeowner, we've been asked this several times, this has been an ongoing thing with, people trying to say that the township planted the trees. The township did not plant the trees. 20, maybe 30 years ago, the Civic Association asked the township if they could,
No, this isn't that tree, this tree hasn't been there that long. This was a.
So just to get clarity, your one is for the township to take the tree down. Is that what you're asking?
I need.
What's your
well,
wants and
I
needs?
need. I'm not even sure. I need help
Okay.
figuring out how, I can't. I have to, like I said,
Do
I
you
can't even
need-
use
Wait,
the
wait,
restroom in my own home.
if I could.
Yep.
What I think we really need is some type of chronology, because for me, I can't understand what
Trees were
exactly
only
the story you're,
planted
no,
maybe-
stop, wait.
yeah.
Regardless of the tree, I'm trying to get the chronology of when your current problem began.
Since the Mr. Rehab, I was able.
And again, I'm going to ask you for a date.
Oh. January 24th.
was the
Okay.
first time that you couldn't flush or use any toilet? Or use anything in your water? That's what we're asking. When was the time that you said that you cannot use any of your water or any of your facilities in your house?
Well, right after that, like I did laundry about 2 days after, and the water came up from under the toilet in the tub, and
So your plumbing began to malfunction.
yes, two days after the Mr. Rehab, when I did.
So in January 26th, you began to
Yes.
experience problems. Is that what you're
Yes.
telling me?
Yes.
And then when did you call your plumber out? Do you have any paperwork from him?
How about we do this? How about we make copies of your paperwork? We're going to give it to the township manager, and we'll do a little investigation and see what we got going on. But she's correct about the tree. That's not the township's responsibility if that tree needs to come down. But we got to look at Mr. Rehab and make sure there's no issues with that.
I thought it was the city, these
No.
trees were only planted
It's
about
not.
5 years ago.
Yep, no.
We don't plant
Well, the township didn't plant any trees.
We don't plant trees.
Plant trees in
No,
public.
unless they're at our park.
So
Yeah,
we got it. If you have paperwork, we can make copies, so we have some data, and we're going to take a look and see what we got.
If I can just once again plead to any resident that's listening, you do not have to come to a township council meeting on a public comment once a month and wait with your problems. These are problems going on from January. We're now in March. You have the same issues, 9 months of issues. Your citations from March. Well, you went to court in March. You don't have to wait till a public council meeting. You can come you can call me anytime. You can come into the township meeting. You can come into the building anytime. You don't have to wait to a township
Because
council meeting.
now you're another 2 weeks out, looking at data, what has to be done, if something we can do, that could have been handled.
when the
Just
plumber-
let it, no, we're finishing. I'm just letting people know, if you think that you only can address your concerns with council during public comment, you're grossly mistaken. Thank you.
You have every right to come and do this in a public forum, but you're not going to resolve your issue in a timely fashion by waiting, is the point.
Exactly.
But you always have this right.
Okay, so at this moment, we'll,
Come in the building anytime.
yes, building's open.
8:30 to 5.
So, again, paperwork.
We're here to
after the
serve
meeting.
you, okay? So when
Right.
you have a problem.
Or
you can
anybody
come
at
to the
home has a
building
problem.
And, we'll be
Email-
glad to work with anyone.
And I just want to point out, if you have internet access, email is the fastest way to get things accomplished. And if not, just call the township manager, call building codes, and we'll be on it. So, but we'll like to have that paperwork, make a copy of it. And at this point, we're going to adjourn the meeting because we're done at this point.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Patrick Antonello.
I'll second it.
Second by, is that Ray Blaylock down there? Hey, Ray. Good to see you. And on that motion, all in favor? Aye. Thank you all for coming out. Public Works, great job. Thank you for coming and hanging out and attending the meeting with us. Congratulations.